Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura, or Leftover Dinner, and today we're gonna see how much I can knit in 5 hours. I feel like recently in my comments, and this happens in real life too, I get a lot of people noticing how fast I knit. And one thing I've always been curious of is whether it's really just how much time I'm knitting or if it's because I'm really a fast knitter. My current project is the Drops Ballerina Wrap Top. I'll leave a link to this pattern below. It's completely free if you want to test it out yourself. But given that I kind of have a busy day, I thought this would be a super fun challenge for my Sunday. So let's see the current state of this project. Since this is a challenge, we have to start off with where I'm beginning with. So let me show you my current progress on this whip. This project uses Drop Kid Silk and Drops Air for the yarn held together, and I chose this beautiful berry color for this wrap top. But as you can see here, I've done the ribbing so far. This is the back panel of the wrap top, and I'm only 4 rows into making just the normal stockinette stitch. So really, I'm starting from nothing. All right, I have a couple hours before I have to go meet up with people to get a late brunch. So let's see how much I can knit within that time. All right, I'm starting the timer now. It's been so nice in Wisconsin recently, but last night it started snowing, and I'm looking at my window right now. I thought it was finally spring. The tall one?
Yeah, I think like after we get lower sponsor was like I should have got a matcha. Maybe stay till it feels so nothing. Stephanie, this is open. Oh, okay, this is one way. Gonna lay down. Be still.
It's all, like, these are like my favorite colors. Like everything I'm wearing.
You have like
Girl, you get it.
like this saffron alone costs like
Oh my gosh. So I just got back home from getting some brunch with some girlfriends, and I kind of knit on and off while I was with them. So we'll just call that another hour. It probably wasn't a complete hour, probably somewhere more around like 30 to 40 minutes. But I still want to see how much of this project I can do within a day. From where we last left off, I'm basically still working on the same thing. Yeah, this is how much I completed in the first hour, and then in the second hour, pretty much the same amount. So we have 3 more hours left of this challenge. I'm going to hop into some more comfortable clothes and let's get knitting.
You're up in the sky, I'll carry you home, home to the mountaineers. And soon, my friend, you'll see them again, the ones you left behind, the ones you left behind.
Alright, so I've kind of spent the last couple hours here just sitting and knitting and obviously absorbing the sun as well. It's funny because like basically the sun has immediately melted all the snow, so like the snow on my balcony is completely gone. From earlier this morning. I have about 90 minutes of this challenge left, so let's see where I'm at. So this is where I'm currently at. It's about probably like halfway of the back panel, and after this it calls for shaping of the armholes. So like I said, I would consider this like halfway through the project. In terms of how far I've gone since beginning, I want to say probably around like 8 or 7 inches of rows and knitting have gotten me this far in the amount of time that I've been doing it so far. Yeah, now that the back is starting to get worked up more, I really like this color, especially seeing it in the sun. Just this beautiful raspberry color. It's so pretty. I love the halo that the mohair and like the alpaca is giving off. I do have to mention one thing though, is I've never really worked with Drops Air before. I think this is the first time that I've ever gotten it. I knit Continental, so I knit with the yarn in my left hand, and I have noticed that it's a bit rough on my left hand as I'm trying to hold it for tension. I've been kind of switching back and forth between English and Continental style knitting to not have the yarn rub off on my fingers so much. So with that, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break just to kind of stand up, sit up straight because my shoulders and back are kind of hurting a little bit, and then I'll probably come back in the evening to wrap up the last 90 minutes of this challenge. All right, it is finally the evening time and I'm now settled. I've taken my makeup off for the day, kind of been refreshed. I took quite a long break. I even took a little nap in between when I was last knitting to right now. So I feel reinvigorated to continue knitting for the last 90 minutes of this challenge. Let's see if I can get through all of these decreases for the armhole shaping.
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the colors.
I made a couple decreases here. It only really asks for 2 rows of decreases for the size that I'm making. And now I think it's literally just I continue stockinette stitch until I reach where the neckline should be and shape for the neckline. And I think that should be it for the back. I have an hour, basically an hour 20 left of this challenge. Let's see if I could finish this back. That'd be pretty crazy. All right, we're in the final hour of the challenge. It's definitely kind of cool documenting my progress of this. I feel like normally most videos I make, I'm documenting a whole project and I don't really time my projects. I feel like often people will ask me how long it takes for me to make a sweater or a crop top or something like that. And I feel like I can never give them like a definite answer of the number of hours that I put in, because while it might take me maybe like a week to make a sweater, I feel like that's pretty average, like a week and a half. I don't actually specify like how many hours I'm working on it during the week, because when I'm really excited about a project, I really can't put it down. Literally every waking free time that I have, I will be knitting. So it's kind of cool to see like how much I can actually do in an allotted amount of time. One thing I am curious though is that I'm currently using, I think these are 6.5 millimeter needles. So obviously this project is working up a lot faster than it would be if it was a fingering weight yarn and like 3 millimeter needles. It would be interesting to compare how much I could actually do in, let's say, like the same amount of time, 5 hours. I think it's pretty obvious that like something like this will take less time just because it's faster to work up. But I wonder if there's a difference between my knitting speed with different yarns. One thing I've definitely noticed is that when I knit with thicker yarns, I tend to be a little bit slower knitting. Like I said before, sometimes the yarn rubs my finger and it gets kind of irritated. I feel like my knitting movements are a little bit wider in terms of like how it takes me to knit or purl a stitch. It takes more movement for my hands, so maybe that means it takes longer with thicker yarn to knit something up. Versus if I was using fingering weight yarn, my movements are much tighter, so I knit seemingly very fast. I think one other thing to mention about this project is I am working this in the flat. This pattern requires some sewing. You basically make the back panels, you make the side panels, sew everything together, and that's how you make the completed wrap top. And obviously with it being work in panels, it requires you to work in purl stitches. I think for most people, purl stitches take longer than knit stitches do. I've heard different variations of knitting, like doing the Norwegian purl to make it go a little bit faster. I don't know, for me, I feel like my tension is too tight with Norwegian purling, and I worry that it's not good for my hands. I noticed that I'm much looser just doing normal continental purling, and even though it might be slower than my normal knitting, my tension is pretty consistent with how I purl, so that's really the only thing that matters to me. And of course my wrist health as well, because obviously I don't want to be knitting or crocheting for that matter too tightly and destroying my wrists. Okay, I've been sitting in my bed a lot. I think I'm going to move to my desk now just to finish out this final hour of the project. I don't know about other knitters, but when I sit in my bed, I tend to like hunch over a lot, and over time, especially doing that very frequently, I notice a lot of neck and shoulder pain, back pain, or just some strain there. So I'm gonna go sit at my desk. So for this last hour, I'll at least be sitting in probably a better position for my back. I didn't realize that my mic died, but we have 10 minutes left on the clock. I have attached a new skein of yarn. Let's see how much I can do in the last 10 minutes here. Okay, there's 5 minutes left, but I do have to measure my piece now because I have to make sure that it's, I think, 47 centimeters. So let's see. It is 41. Okay, I have quite a bit from 45, which probably means I will not get to 45 before the 5 minutes are up, but a girl can try. Okay, we have 50 seconds left. Ah! Oh wait, is this gonna make a noise when it goes off? Oh, I have no clue. Oh my god. I'm trying to do too much at once. Okay, 30 seconds. Can I finish this row? Oh my god. Finish this row. Finish this row. 10, 9. Oh god. Ah. Oh god. Ah. That's it. Okay, I think there's 3 stitches left. 3. I think I'm allowed to finish at least those 3. And then we'll do a progress update. Okay, final update time. Let's see how much I actually did within the 5 hours. So this is what the back panel looks like. This is how much I did in the 5 hours, starting basically from the ribbing all the way to what I have currently on the needles. Am I surprised by how much I did? Yes and no. I feel like I was really busy today. I had a lot of things going on. I was with people. So the fact that I even got maybe some more rows in than I thought I would is one thing. It definitely is hard to talk and knit at the same time. So when I was with people, I was probably knitting slower than I normally would. I mean, but clearly this just goes to show that even if you're going a little bit slow, in the end, it really shows up like how much progress you did. Let's see how long this is now, because like I said before, I needed this to be 45 centimeters to start the shaping for the neck and the shoulders. Let's see if this hit 45 centimeters. Okay, I have my measuring tape here. Let's see. All right. It is, all right, without stretching it out, it is at, it's close to 45. It's kind of hard to measure it in midair like this, but it's giving right now 44 centimeters. So yes, very close to 45, not quite. I'd probably do like 2 more rows to round it out to a 45 centimeters, but I would say that's a huge accomplishment. And on top of that, I even started using the neck skein for the back panel. I didn't really expect that I would get through the skein that was currently being worked on this project. So it's nice to see that I made enough progress to attach more yarn. All right, now I want to do a couple calculations to see the rate of which I knit. Okay, did some quick maths and I wrote it in my notebook here. These are the final stats. In 5 hours, I knit 72 rows, which is approximately 4,680 stitches. And I say approximately because I think for most rows, they had 65 stitches, but obviously that depended on whether I did increases or decreases. So while that's not the exact number, it's probably around there somewhere. In 1 hour, that means I knit 936 stitches. And in terms of my rate, I did approximately 15.6 stitches per minute. Now, I must say, that doesn't feel very fast. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that take into how fast one person is knitting. Like I said before, in half of the rows, obviously I was knitting purl rows, so those take much longer for me to knit rather than normal just knit stitches. Also, this is thicker yarn, which I think might have slowed me down a little bit. There were some rows where I was switching back and forth between continental and English style knitting just to take some pressure off of my wrists, and I do that normally anyways, so that definitely affected probably my speed in terms of that. If I was only doing continental knitting, I think I would have been much faster. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not a contest. I really was just interested to see how much I could knit with an allotted amount of time. I think today was a perfect day to do this challenge, just given all of the fun things that I did today, being out and about and having to knit, but also getting time to relax and enjoy, honestly, the dual weather that we had today. It was a lot of sun in the afternoon and evening, but in the morning, it was so much snow. I feel like really this video just shows how different Wisconsin weather can be even in one day. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe. I make a lot of videos about knitting and crocheting, really anything that's related to fiber arts. So if you like this type of content, I would love if you stuck around. You can also follow me on Instagram. Again, I just post a lot about knitting and you'll get some tidbits about my life and a lot of the food that I eat as well. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave all these links down below. With that, I'm going to end my night. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!